Yes, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy and we are live. It's been so long, but we are live and it is a session. It's time for us to react to our transfers. The whole of July is going to be a very busy month for Arsenal. Honestly, I think if there is a month that Arsenal fans should be on their tenterhooks, it should be July. It's gonna be very hot, very hot. On Because we have not done any signings in June. We have not announced any. We have done two of them, Lokonga and Tavares, but we have not announced any. So we are, you expect announcements, you expect players to leave. We have not had any official exits. The likes of Jacques are still around, so we are gonna speak about a lot in this opening session of Arsenal Transfers Live. But basically, we will talk about the Lokonga deal because his transfer medical is very imminent. We'll talk about Loactelli in a little bit of a detail. I spoke about him in the morning, so we'll speak about Loactelli. Ben White, the structure. What is so wrong with that structure? Why is it not coming down? And finally, Reece Nelson as well. We have the Willian deal collapsing as well. He's apparently asking for more money than what Inter Miami can offer. I mean, imagine how Arsenal have just spoiled this deal. So we're gonna speak about that. The show is brought to you by OneXpert. They are our sponsors, so make sure you do check out OneXpert. Link is in the video description. Register with them, and you'll get a 200% bonus on your first deposit. That is beautiful. That is marvelous. Bet with OneXpert so that you do not regret. Use promo code Cossy Media on their website. As you register, you'll be able to win prizes and special offers with my promo code. Support me and support the channel as well. So thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been so long, a very long time that we have not spoken live, and I can see many people in the chat, many people watching live. That really means a lot. Get in the chat, like I can see on the banner scrolling down. Get in the chat and tell me what are your thoughts on this transfer window so far. And get in your questions if you have any questions that you feel I can answer, because I've done so many videos concerning Arsenal transfers. But if you have any in particular that you think Cossy should answer for me, I will be able to provide the answers. So make sure that you leave the questions in the comment section. If you have any thoughts on the deals we are going to discuss, make sure you also leave them in the chat as well. For me, my question for you guys is, what have you made of our transfer window so far? We have confirmed two signings, two deals have been completed. That is Lokonga and obviously the man himself, Nuno Tavares. So those are the two done deals so far. So the question there is, what have you made of our transfer window? Is it awful? Is it too bad? Is it moving at a good pace? Is it too slow? Is it too fast? Are we hitting our priorities? Is the speculation too much? What have you made of this transfer window? My name is Cossy, and let us get into it. Please do smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, make sure you do subscribe and turn on the notification bell as well. And please keep the comments really respectful. So let us get the party started, and we will discuss first of all, Albert Sambi Lokonga medical is very imminent. Now, yesterday we spoke about Lokonga, and I said what Arsenal had, yesterday was the player was left out of the photo shoot of Anderlecht for the season, and that was beautiful. That was something that was showing you that this player is really no longer part of Anderlecht. We agreed a deal that is close to 21 million euros, and of course Fabrizio Romano came out yesterday and confirmed that Arsenal will now complete the signings of two players, that is Nuno Tavares and Albert Sambi Lokonga. Now, what happens with Lokonga, and this should be put into account or notice, is something that is a little bit tricky. We have the COVID-19 guidelines when it comes to traveling. We have the COVID-19 guidelines when it comes to medicals. And it happened with the Nuno Tavares deal yesterday. It had to be, he had to do his medical yesterday, but there was a lot of speculation. Where is he gonna do his medical? Is it way back in Portugal? Is he gonna fly and do it in London? Fabrizio today in the morning tweeted, and I think I still have that tweet on my handle, and he said Nuno Tavares is going to has arrived in England and is already doing his medicals. So his medicals as Tavares was scheduled yesterday, but because of the COVID-19 regulations and restrictions, there was a lot to process how the player moves and so on and so forth. So the update with Lokonga is next week. We expect his because the deal was completed honestly this week, but next week we expect him to do his medicals and he will be announced as an Arsenal player probably next week. The Nuno Tavares deal, that one, Arsenal will announce Nuno Tavares whenever they want. It's a done deal, completely done. So what are your thoughts on Lokonga? Someone has asked me a question in the chat that Cossy, how much of quality are we signing in Albert Sambi Lokonga? And then you reminded me of what Charles Watson said today in the afternoon. He said Arsenal are worried about playing Albert Sambi Lokonga in the competition of the Premier League. That's what he said. The Arsenal are really wary of playing Albert Sambi Lokonga because he's just 21 and he's playing in a very, very technical and crucial area, which is the midfield. And so he was saying that probably what Arsenal want to do is get someone who's played in a big league, in one of the top leagues in Europe. Probably Loactelli. We've been linked with Loactelli today. I'm going to speak about him. So probably Loactelli, or get someone like Eduardo Camavinga, because what Camavinga has ahead of Albert Sambi Lokonga, despite the fact that Lokonga is older than Camavinga, the fact is Camavinga has been playing in France and it's a more competitive league as compared to the Belgian, how is it called? Is it the Belgian Jupiler League, something like that? So it's a little bit more competitive. Camavinga, obviously, with Rene, I don't know if he's played in the Europa League, but I think he's played in the Europa League. He's played in Europe as well. So that's the advantage he has. So next week we expect that medical. Expect that medical incoming. The rest of the deal is done, perfectly completed. It's 21 million euros and a 5% sell-on clause. That is what Arsenal and Anderlecht had failed to agree on in the first place. And they came out yesterday and said, look, you two giants, I don't believe Anderlecht is giant, but in Belgium they're giants. Stop this ridiculous talk and get this deal off the line. You can't tell us that you're arguing over a sell-on clause after agreeing on a price. What are you talking about? So it was agreed that Lokonga will sign, but Anderlecht will collect a 5% on the fee on any fee Arsenal sell him at. So that means if we sell him for 10 million, they could get around 500,000. So I think that is the quick mathematics I could actually make. But if we sell him at 100 million, they could get around 5 million pounds. So that one is a done deal. Medicals to be completed, and he will officially be an Arsenal player. Just a quick update on Nuno Tavares. Like I said, Fabrizio today in the morning came out and said, yes, this is a done deal. Arsenal have brought the player in London. He's doing his medicals, and as soon as he completes his medicals, I will come live again and confirm that the player has either failed or passed his medicals, because the possibility is there. Yes, we agreed and signed the papers with Benfica, so I don't know whether this means whether the player fails the medical or passes it. There is nothing we can do. But what I think is, obviously, Arsenal will announce this deal together with the Albert Sambi Lokonga deal. So we might not see the announcements coming this week, probably because Romana said Arsenal are waiting to move on some players before they can actually do the announcement. So probably that could be next week when Granit Xhaka nails it, Roma, when Hexa Bellerin finds someone to take him up. when we get the confirmation about players like Edin Ketia and others. But expect big announcements from Arsenal very, very soon. I mean, those are the two players we are so close to announcing. So congratulations on Nuno Tavares, and I'm still waiting for that Albert Sambi Lokonga deal to arrive in. As long as he arrives in London, does his medical, for me, it's absolutely a done deal. Now we have had a lot of hassle in the midfield. And for me, I told you, for me to recognize Arsenal again, because our identity is somewhat blurred. There is something very, very thick that is, standing in front of our identity. And our identity as Arsenal has always been the strength in that midfield. There's no question about that. If there is anyone on this show that believes that Arsenal's strength is not the midfield for the past 20 years, you're just absolutely crazy. It's absolutely, because if you look at the quality we have always possessed in that midfield, across the last 20 years, it only shows you that what Arsenal have to do to get back to winning ways is manage that midfield. That is all. Get quality in there, and Arsenal will be back. So, right on my Twitter here, I'm looking at a picture of three midfielders: Loactelli, Maddison, and Thomas Partey. Of course, we do have Thomas Partey already at the club. Loactelli, there is a big update. We talked about it in the morning. So if you did watch that video in the morning, what happened was, it was a little bit ridiculous, but funny and really interesting. Yeah, funny, ridiculous, but really, really interesting. Yeah. So what happened was, in the morning, Fabrizio tweeted and he said, Sassuolo CEO Canevelli has told Sky Sports Italia that Arsenal have made an important bid to sign Manuel Loactelli, and that means we moved ahead of Juventus. However, I say that there is a very strong bond. There's a very strong relationship between them and Juventus. They have a meeting scheduled with Juventus. So anything that comes out of that meeting will determine if Arsenal get Manuel Loactelli or they don't. Yesterday, around the same time that we are speaking about, we are speaking at right now. Yesterday, news came out and said Dortmund and Arsenal are ready to meet the £40 million demands of Sassuolo for Manuel Loactelli. However, Juventus were not, because what Juventus want, and I spoke about this in the morning. What Juventus want is a player plus cash deal. What Sassuolo want is far from that. And the valuation of Juventus, because they know they are the giants in Italy, and the player wants to play for them. They're his priority, so they want to press Sassuolo because they know Sassuolo needs the money and the player needs the move. So they want to press Sassuolo. So what Sassuolo have done, and I absolutely, I'm so sorry if this is so wrong of my reasoning, but I think what Sassuolo have done is, they've come out and said Arsenal has bid for Loactelli, and I think they're trying to create awareness in Juventus. Why didn't they say Dortmund? Because Dortmund is also in the race. The reason that's why they said Arsenal is because Arsenal has been earmarked as desperate for a midfielder, a central midfielder in the summer. And we have also been earmarked as a club that has money in the summer. So Juventus are now considering their options. Should we give them the £40 million? Or should we wait and see what comes out of Arsenal? I don't think Juventus will wait for what comes out of Arsenal. They're going to have a meeting with Sassuolo, and whatever comes out of that meeting will decide whether Arsenal have a chance to sign Manuel Loactelli or not. Now, Charles Watts 4 hours ago, he tweeted about Manuel Loactelli's situation and said, on Loactelli, Arsenal, sorry for that. No, sorry for that. Arsenal sources deny making any official bid. There is a feeling Sassuolo are using Arsenal's name to get Juve offer more. And look, that is the same feeling I've got. That is the same feeling I've got. But he also said, but I'm told Arsenal's interest in Loactelli is genuine, and there has been contact between the clubs. A move hasn't been ruled out. Now, this is when it gets a little bit more interesting. The move cannot be ruled out, yeah, because Loactelli is still out with Italy. I think they have a game. They have a game tomorrow. Oh, I think they have a game tomorrow, don't they? Yeah, they have a game tomorrow against Belgium. So, what they are saying now is a move is still on the cards. Yeah. However, we are not the priority. We are not the player's priority, and we are not Sassuolo's priority. Sassuolo, if we offer the same amount of money, Sassuolo would sell to Juventus rather than Arsenal, and the player would also join Juventus rather than Arsenal. That is how complicated this deal is. And I think Fabrizio was speaking to the Arsenal, and he said, yes, that deal is possible, but it would be a very, very difficult one. But make no mistake, this would be a massive, massive signing for Arsenal. Very talented, 23 years of age, very talented. He has the experience and fits into what we want to do, buying young players to develop them over time. So Charles Watts also said that Juventus clearly in the driving seat with this one. If they pay up, they'll get it done. Arsenal interested, and it is something that could potentially move forward if Juventus don't meet Sassuolo's demand. So Loactelli, I mean, I woke up today and he was trending on my Twitter, wall and page, and I was like, what is really happening? So with Loactelli, it could happen, it can happen. However, we first have to get Juventus fail. I mean, it's disgusting. It's not even fair, is it? Not really, not even fair. Not even fair at all. Not even fair. So that is it. Loactelli, 40 million euros, around 35 million pounds. That is money Arsenal can pay for a midfielder. Luckily, I think apart from the fact that he's Italian and he might struggle with the language, he's talented. I've had Mikel Arteta knows Italian. I'm not really so sure about that, but I spoke about it yesterday, and we were joking. So with Loactelli, what Arsenal have to do and what Arsenal have got to do is to wait for is to clearly and eagerly wait for Juventus. If Juventus slip, if Juventus make a mistake, then we go in for that. But if Juventus do not make mistake, I don't think we will get Loactelli. But it's very it's a very difficult one. A very difficult one. I think it's even more difficult than the Camavinga deal, because for the Camavinga deal, you have the big giants who are not really willing to pay the money. You have Rene who who want the money but also want to keep the player. So that means the moment you pay the money, Camavinga becomes your player. I think you also have the price tag that is a little bit ridiculous. So if you are good at negotiating your way out, you get Camavinga. So Loactelli, yes, we need Loactelli. He would be interesting. It would be a massive signing. It would be interesting to see Loactelli play with Thomas Partey in that midfield. I mean, who doesn't want such a midfield? Loactelli, Thomas Partey, get it done, Arsenal. But we'll have to wait for that. We'll have to wait for that and see whether it will get over the line. Yeah, we'll have to wait for that and see whether it gets over the line. So, our preseason has been set. Our preseason has been set, and on 7th July we will play. We'll begin our preseason. That is when it starts. Preseason starts on 7th July. On 12th July, we shall go into Scotland in a training camp. 13th July, we shall play Hibernian, right? So we shall play Hibernian on 13th, and then on 17th we shall play Rangers. That is in Scotland. 13th, it's Hibernian versus Arsenal. And then 17th, it is Rangers versus Arsenal. Then on 20th, we shall fly to Orlando. And then where we shall play Inter Miami on the 25th of July. Then 28th of July, we shall play Everton, still a club in a club in Orlando in America. So 28th we are playing Everton, and 25th we are playing Inter Miami. Then on first we shall play Chelsea. 1st August, that is before the season, and then 8th August we shall play Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, that is our preseason, really. That's our preseason. Summarized for you. So let us talk about the Ben White deal as well, because it's a deal that has been on the cards for the past around 14 days. I mean, we've spoken about Ben White and so many things around this deal, and many people, including me, still believe it's a deal that will happen. It's a deal that will happen. The only problem that I have with Arsenal is at the moment, we are very, very silent. We are very secretive. So it's very hard to get out official details. But what I know is, according to Fabrizio, according to David Onstein, according to Charles White, a deal is very, very close. Very, very close. Now, what is one of the two things that are hindering this deal from being a total done deal? I think, honestly, one of them is the fact that the player is still with England in the Euros. And you've got to respect that, honestly. You've got to respect that. He's playing in the Euros. And Southgate was talking about, was talking to Aaron Ramsdale, who is also another Arsenal target. And he said, you know what? Rest the transfer talk. We'll talk about your future in the upcoming days. At the moment, rest your transfer talk. Focus on England. So what I think is Ben White wants to focus on England at the moment, but the moment that deal, the moment England is out of the Euros, which is I think should be July 11 maximum. It is July 11th, because that is when we get the winner. Yeah, that's when we get the winner. So the moment, the moment they are out of the Euros, whether they have won them or they have lost them, God knows what will happen down there. But the moment they're out of the Euros, then it will be a confirmed done deal. That is when the most of the progression will actually happen. The player doing his medicals and everything like that. So with Ben White still in the Euros, this deal is not getting done. Or announced very, very soon. And the other thing we are having is the payment structure. The payment structure, and the payment structure is funny, so funny. Initially, we thought it was going to be 45 million pounds in guaranteed payments. Yeah, 45 million pounds in guaranteed payments, and then the rest of money would come would come as add-ons. That is what I had thought. But it looks like it's something different. It looks like what Brighton want is different. They want 50 million euros. I mean, 50 million pounds. 50 million pounds. Them pounds. Yeah. So they want 50 million pounds in guaranteed payments, and then the rest of the money will come as add-ons. So the structure is a little bit disturbing. But if you ask me, Cossy, is it going to lead to the collapse of the deal? I don't think so. Look, at times it happens. You could have clubs fail to agree a deal because of the ridiculous structuring of the deal. You agree on a price, but you also fail to agree on how you're gonna get that money. Yeah, but I also think Brighton is keeping a very open ear to the likes of City. I don't think City will go in for Ben White, but I've seen that they're interested. They're keeping an ear to Manchester United, who are struggling to sign Rafa Varane. And if Arsenal are really serious about this guy, one of the things we've got to do is get this deal done early. United is struggling with Varane. They're struggling with Jules Kounde. They're struggling with Paul Torres because they're having ridiculous buyout clauses. They're having ridiculous price tags. They know they can deal with Brighton. They can do a deal with Brighton. So if Arsenal is so serious, if we are serious about this deal, we've got to get it done. We need to have an agreement announced as soon as possible. But I think the structure in this case, it won't be something difficult, because if I'm giving you 45 million pounds and you want 50, probably we could have a consensus at around 47 or 48 or 48.5 or 47.9 or 47.7, things like that. And then, Mikel won't have an excuse. Really won't have an excuse. I know you would love me to talk about William Saliba, and I'll do that. So with William Saliba, this deal really affects him directly. And yesterday there was a meeting between Arsenal and the representatives of William Saliba, and what was agreed on is not yet actually open in the air. There's a lot of speculation, but I've not seen anything official or anything confirmed from my big boys, the likes of David Onstein or Charles West. I've not seen anything from those big boys speaking about William Saliba. But what we do understand at the moment is Arsenal are open to selling the player. They have said at this point in time, there is no player that does not have a price tag on his back. A couple of loan deals have been suggested for William Saliba, but the player would rather move on a permanent deal. So he's frustrated, really, really frustrated. And this has been top class mismanagement from Arsenal, from Mikel Arteta. Top class mismanagement, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous management of William Saliba. With Matteo Guendouzi, we've seen the reports that Arsenal is preparing to cut down its expectations from that deal. So probably we might have Arsenal getting less than 20 million euros from Guendouzi. And like I said, the moment you tell me that we're getting less than 20 million euros from Guendouzi, that is bullshit again. That's ridiculous again. And for me, it is courtesy of Mikel Arteta. He's failed to handle these boys. He's failed to handle this talent, and eventually Arsenal is gonna suffer losses. Because with William Saliba, he's a top talent. But the moment he played Rob Holding over William Saliba, sent him out on loan and knees, did so well, doesn't even want to consider him. He's looking up and down for a new defender. What does that tell you as a young defender? There is no place for you here. That's it. Saliba believes he's ready. He doesn't want to sit on the bench. That's it. So Arsenal could sell William Saliba. Nothing is confirmed with William Saliba. Probably in the coming days, on the next days, or in the next weeks. On the coming weeks, we could see something like that. Romano has been speaking about Reece Nelson, and we also have news on Willian. I think those are the two deals that I've not really spoken about. So Romano has been speaking about Reece Nelson, and I also have a deal around Willian. So please do smash the like button if you like the content. Get your subs in as well, right? Get your subs in as well. Get me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about these deals. Do you think they are genuine? Okay. Do you think they are genuine? Do you think Arsenal is doing the right thing, to let William Saliba go? Things like that, right? So with Reece Nelson, and I probably I'll talk about this in the upcoming shows. But with Reece Nelson, Arsenal have offered Reece Nelson a new contract until 2024 to send him on loan immediately after to send him. Listen. Sorry for that. Arsenal have offered this, according to Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal have offered Reece Nelson a new contract to send him on loan immediately after signing the new contract. Nelson has not accepted yet, and he's looking at his options. Olympiacos and 3 English clubs have already contacted Reece Nelson, to sign him. This one is an interesting one because I know Arsenal do not want to sell this one. Yeah, Arsenal do not want to sell this one. And I wouldn't want to sell Reece Nelson because I think he's a little bit, there is something about Reece Nelson that I love that I don't see in players like Joe Willock. However much Joe Willock had a very, very good season, a good loan spell at Newcastle. But I want him to stay. I want Reece Nelson really to stay. So he's been offered a new contract until 2024. However, the player has not yet decided. Olympiacos is interested, and 3 clubs in England have also said, "Come to us, bro. We've got to we've got playing time." I think with Reece Nelson, I might. I mean, this is a little bit disappointing for an Arsenal fan to listen to, but I think it might be. It might be. How should I say it? I think he might opt to leave Arsenal, honestly, because if he looks at if he looks at the rankings, he's not getting any younger. That's the first thing. He's not getting any younger, and if he looks at the hierarchy, he's not anywhere close to starting football regularly for Arsenal, right? Not anywhere close, because you have Nicola Pepe and Bukayo Saka said to be Arsenal starters. But you also have Gabriel Martinelli, who is ahead of him as well, and the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe, right? So if he and for me at the moment, he needs game time to develop. He needs the game time. Saka is developing and is becoming the miraculous Saka. For one reason, he's got the game time all season. All season. The consistency of the games also helps development as well. So I could see. I don't want Reece Nelson to leave, but I could see him leave as well. Yeah, I could see him leave as well, and I wouldn't blame him for anything if he's decided to leave Arsenal. I wouldn't blame him, for anything. So Reece Nelson, keep a very very open eye on that one as well. Let's keep a very open eye as well on that. And finally, Inter Miami have pulled out of the move for Willian. Sunspot understands the Arsenal man wanted around £8.7 million per year. That is around 167,000 per week to play in the Major League Soccer, which is even more than which is more than what David Beckham's side could offer. So with Willian, Romano said 100% the player wants to try something new, but the problem is, can he get a deal? There is nothing between him and Chelsea. Yes, the rumors were there. Right. So the rumors were there that Chelsea want to take him, and or he wants to go back to Chelsea, and we spoke about that as well. But I think at the moment there is nothing between Willian and any English Premier League club. What he wants is a new challenge, probably in China, probably in Major League Soccer. He's just frustrated with being at Arsenal. That is it. Just total frustration with being with Arsenal, and every Arsenal fan, including me, we are just tired of him. He has had a nasty season. Honestly, one of the most, poor seasons. Very, very poor. One of the poorest seasons a player could ever have. So a deal with Inter Miami is not coming through because of his ridiculous wage demands. Will he get a player, a place to play football? It remains to be seen. So that is the update at the moment. That's the update. Let's try to look at what Juliet is saying in the chat. Yeah. Let's see what you people are saying in the chat. Okay. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and please do smash a like on the video. Thank you so much. Is it true that we are going to sign 7 players? Well, look. I don't know what to say about this. Because we need a backup goalkeeper. That is confirmed. We need a backup goalkeeper, so we could get in. We could get in a backup goalkeeper. We need a right back. That is 2. We are bringing in a backup left back. Those are 3. We are bringing in a centre back. Those are 4. We are bringing in 2 midfielders. That is 5, 6, and probably we could get in. We could get in a striker. So we could sign 7 players. We could. Yeah. We could sign 7 players. I mean, the reason as to why we could get in so many players this summer is some players are going to leave. If Xhaka goes away, you get in a replacement. That is a signing. And we have had, a couple of priorities, to deal with. If Sid Kolasinac leaves the club, you've got to bring in a replacement. That is it. So, are we signing 7 players? I cannot really confirm with that, but but what I can say is our transfer priorities are more than 5 players or more than 4 players. Thanks everybody in the chat. Joffrey says, "I'm waiting for you." Here I am. And I didn't take so long, did I? I didn't really take so long. Do you think this guy is good enough, Lokonga? Lokonga is a good player, but he is a young player as well, right? Lokonga is a good player, but he is a young player as well. So if you want to judge him at the level of Paul Pogba, because they could play in the same area, at the level of Paul Pogba or at the level of Manuel Loactelli, that's a little bit too early. That's a little bit too early. But if you're judging him at the level of the likes of Mason Mount, the likes of Eduardo Camavinga, the likes of Emile Smith-Rowe, yes, he is a good guy. He's good enough. Honestly, he is good enough. But is it true we are given we were given is it 55 to 250 million? I mean, according to 90 more. No, did I say 90 more? That is my second channel, by the way. Make sure you subscribe to 90 more. Make sure you subscribe to 90 more. It's my second channel. You'll find a lot of interesting content there as well for you, especially reaction videos to Arsenal players, right? Reaction videos to Arsenal players. I mean, that is interesting, isn't it? So you're asking me if you are given 250 million pounds. According to 90 Min, they broke this as an exclusive. Yeah, they broke it as an exclusive. So I mean, it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. The only way we can prove that we have been given that money is if we spend it. Yeah, if we spend it, then we were given it. If we don't spend it, then it was never there. I mean, as simple as that. Baluko Moses, thank you so much. Says live from Uganda, bro. Thank you so much, Baluko. Hi, Cossy. Thanks for the program. I'm here tuning in, bro. Thank you so much. And always, please, guys, smash the like button because it helps the videos to move further. And also, make sure you tune in even after the transfers. I know you love transfers, but even after transfers, make sure you're always tuning in, right? Do you think Lokonga is a good signing? Absolutely. Absolutely good signing, especially if Arsenal are going to sign in another player. Look, if Lokonga is going to be the only signing we make in the midfield, ridiculous. But if we are going to bring in more players in those areas, I mean, it's 100% in for it. 100% in for it. Go for it, Arsenal. Go for it. Yes, I'm in for it. If Arsenal is bringing in more players in the midfield, yes, he's a good player because when you want to rest Thomas Partey, he can't be there. If you want to rest Granit Xhaka, probably he is there, so he can play as a central midfielder and a CM, and that is the beauty with him. So you could play him with Partey, you could play him with Xhaka, you could play him with Matteo Guendouzi, whoever you want to partner him with, he will work perfectly. Good player, but certainly not one to put pressure on at the moment. Personally, I have faith in him because he is Belgian, really. Have we seen any Belgian flops? Someone tell me in the comments if you've seen a Belgian flop, because I think they flop as well. And when you talk about Belgians, I just get reminded of Toganaza. I really love that boy. Really love that boy, Toganaza. Bro, Chelsea is better than Arsenal in terms of spending. Yeah, in terms of spending. And of course, I think in the past 5 years, 6 years, you guys have been doing really so well. And I've heard that you're chasing Erling Haaland. So in terms of spending a lot of money, and in terms of the past 5 years, I would give you credit. But if you're talking about overall, you're daydreaming. You're daydreaming, bro. You're daydreaming. But thanks everybody. Thanks for the comment. I really love it when other club fans are getting involved as well. I think it may emerge the signing of the season for us. This is Rajab. Thank you so much, Rajab. I'm Robert Tege from Uganda and love one love, bro. Nice job. Thank you so much, Tege. I'll keep doing the work. Arsenal shall rise again. Honestly, look, it's one of the things I'm looking at next season because Mikel Arteta, if he's backed, he won't have an excuse. No excuse. If you're backed, you get the players you're asking for, yeah, and you don't give us the quality we're asking. Sack him before January, sack him before December. The first 5 games, if we don't see an improvement and Arsenal's been backing this guy, sack him, honestly, sack him. So I think we will rise again. Honestly. We as Arsenal need time to build our team. Yeah, honestly, we are not playing anywhere in Europe. That's enough time. How much more time do we need? You're not playing anywhere in Europe next season. You're not playing in the Champions League. You're not playing in the Europa League. That's enough time. Yeah. That's enough time to prepare, and get back to winning ways. Thanks, bro. Thank you so much, message. Thank you so much. Uh, we finished eighth, in eighth position, and we are signing undergraduate players. Leicester City finished far from us, and they're doing good business. I think we are up to 10th next season. Look, I think it's too early to judge, but that's one of the things I can say. Too early to judge, but you really can't, put your head for Arsenal to chop. Yeah, but too early to judge. Let us give Arsenal some time, in this summer and see how they're going to handle their business, really. But talking about Leicester City, I think they're doing really good business. They have signed Patson Daka. I love that guy. I really love that guy. And it's gonna be so heartening. He's gonna be playing for my opponents. Patson Daka. What a waste going to Leicester City. Should have come to Arsenal. So, but they have signed Patson Daka. They have signed Somare. I think they're doing good business. Really, they're really doing good business. And big up to all Leicester City fans in the chat. Nixon says not really. Hey bro, Cossy, I want to know the transfer of Ben White, because last time you made a video that it's a done deal. I mean, there's a total agreement. There's a total agreement on the price. Total agreement on the price. That one's a done deal. The only problem is the player is still in the Euros, and we still have to get that structure done. The payment structure. As soon as it is done and the player finishes the Euros, this deal is over the line, and we're looking at something else. Hey Cossy, what's with Ben White? I hope we are not gonna lose him. No, I mean with Ben White, Denzel, with Ben White, it is still the problem is still the Euros. The problem is the Euros. If we can get out of the Euros, if we can get him out of the Euros, which is impossible, so we have to wait for the Euros to end. So Ben White is the Euros. After the Euros, we will have no excuse. Really. I'm Katende Nuji. Thanks, bro, for the show. Thank you so much, bro. Thanks for the program. How far is Ben White to us? No, that one should be a confirmed deal after the Euros. After the Euros, confirmed. We should confirm that after the Euros. Will Saliba stay at Arsenal after Ben White deal? Look, there's a lot of frustration with William Saliba. There's a lot of frustration with William Saliba. A lot of frustration. So I think the player doesn't want a third loan deal, because it would be ridiculous. Why would you sign me for so much of an expensive fee and then loan me out until my contract expires? Let me go if you don't want to use me. Yeah, I think this one is a difficult one, a very, very difficult one. The player wants to fight for his position at Arsenal. It's only with Mikel Arteta is he willing to give him a fighting chance. Yeah. I mean, it goes down to Mikel as well. It goes down to Mikel. We have good players more than Lokonga. Let us be serious and spend money on the right players to help us, on the first 4 games. Thank you so much, bro. Any possibility of buying a striker? Because the possibility is there. There's possibilities there because we've been linked with Oudson Edouard. I think the 3 strikers recently have been Oudson Edouard, DCL, that is what is his name? DCL, the striker at Everton, Calvert-Lewin, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I think we've also been linked with right, Cossy get this right, Andre Silva, but I've seen Andre Silva is potentially joining RB Leipzig for a reported 23 million euros. So there is a possibility for us to get in a striker, but it will depend, according to the reports I've seen, it will depend if Willian and Lacazette leave. So if those 2 leave, Arsenal will get in a forward player who is more like a striker. But if Lacazette stays, because I think this deal really rotates around Lacazette. So if Lacazette stays, then no striker is expected to sign. We also need a striker. Yeah, I think we do. I think we need someone to bang in the goals. Honestly, there. The first 3 signings, the first 3 games, I think if we can't sign quality, we will only take 3 points. Yeah, you have Brentford. I think that one is winnable if you fight hard. That's winnable if you fight hard. But the rest of the other games, the Manchester Cities and the Chelseas, those ones are really, really hard games. Those Those are really, really hard games. Robert says, I'm 18 already. Congratulations for becoming 18. Cossy, any news about James Maddison? Because I love this guy. James Maddison, Arsenal admire the player. And this, I'm going to say this according to AFC Bell, because they're the most credible source that have published anything around James Maddison. So Arsenal admire the player. And the player is also very open to move away from Leicester City. However, the huge demands in terms of prices for Leicester City will be a very big hindrance for this deal. So Arsenal are still keeping a very, very keen eye, but we are also considering other options in the market, because Leicester City are looking at £80 million. £80 million for Maddison, and Arsenal may not want to pay that much. Okay, so Juve has a priority to sign Loactelli. Yes, exactly. Yeah, they are the priority. They have an upper hand. They have a good relationship with Sassuolo, and the player also wants to sign them. That is it. So there is nothing. We have better than Juve, apart from probably the money. The number one icon Kampala, to get NB says, well, I really don't get this. One love, bro. Thank you so much, Robert Ntege. Thank you so much for tuning in. It really means a lot. Any news about an attacking midfielder? Attacking midfield, that has gone a little bit silent. And the reason as to why it is going to be a little bit silent is we have been finalizing the Nuno Tavares deal and the Lokonga deal. So apparently it's been Lokonga and Nuno Tavares covering all the rest of the positions and the stories. But I'm very, very sure at the moment Arsenal finish these deals, we will get an update on an attacking midfielder. I think Maddison is the latest. Yeah, in terms of attacking midfield, Maddison is the latest. The likes of Odegaard, those ones, the deals are becoming harder and harder and harder. Because the problem of Italian players is the language. So don't be surprised to see him joining Juve. Exactly, Chari. Ochari. It's true. It's true. Look at even some South American players. They always struggle, and the better thing for them to do is come from South America, go to Portugal, right? Come from South America, go to Portugal, and then come in England and probably other leagues. So it's the language. I agree with you. It's the language. Partey, I think that is Partey knows English. I don't think Partey knows any Italian. In that Arsenal side, who do you communicate with if you're Loactelli? So I think it would be more comfortable if Loactelli went to Juventus, and I think he's considering that very, very closely as well. Arsenal are building their team around African players. What kind of illustration is that? What do you mean we are building our team out of we are building our team? Loactelli is Belgian. I mean, if you're trying to say if you're trying to mean color, then let us not talk about color. Really, don't. But I don't think we are building our team around African players. Not really. I don't think. Partey is a major signing. Pepe as well. Yeah, I understand. But Saka, who I think is integral in this Arsenal team squad, I don't think he's African. I don't think Ben White, who want to build around, is African. I don't think Gabriel is African. I don't think Kian Tierney, who's key, is African. I don't think the likes of Gabriel Martinelli are African. So you say we have 3 or 4 important African players, and I think any club could have that. I think Aubameyang is captain. He's African, and I don't have any problems with that. I think Pepe is decent. Don't have any problems with that. With him being a major cornerstone in our team. I think Partey is decent as well. So I think this allegation is totally not true. Cossy, bring Houssem Aouar. He's a good player, but season 2 should get Arsenal with new signing. Bringing Houssem Aouar. Aouar wants Champions League. Arsenal still considering him as a target, but Aouar wants Champions League, and that's the problem. Yeah. So the moment we can't give him Champions League football, we should say goodbye to Housem Awa. So it's Champions League. For Awa, it is Champions League. It is Champions League. Watching and enjoying Cossy, which number do you do Cossy? Which number do Cantwell play? Cantwell, look, I think I mean this might not answer your question, but then I'll try to be a little bit more specific. I think Cantwell is more like a Rom Doita. I think it's more like a Diogo Jota. Because what I mean by a Rom Doita is those players that really are not so specific 7, 8, but they're just around there and they're gonna hurt you at any point in time. But with Cantwell, I think that if you want to get the best out of him, you place him on either the right wing or the left wing. So you could say 7 or 11. But I think personally, he is a very good player as a Rom Doita. Leave him to roam around the midfield, roam around the team, and whenever an opportunity manifests itself, he's gonna be there and he's gonna deliver. Hello, how are you doing? How are you doing, Lawrence? Hope you're doing well. Well, there's so many comments. There's so many comments, and I would love to really get to them because I've taken so long without being alive. What is Arsenal problem? Our problem is identity. And you're saying Saliba is a good player. Yeah, look, I think it's Mikel that is that has really troubled this. It's Mikel Arteta that has really troubled this. Apart from Mikel Arteta, I think anything any other day will be fine, right? Okay. Okay, let's get this. Cossy, is Madison coming to Arsenal? The deal is so difficult. The deal is still very difficult. Honestly, the deal is still very difficult. Arsenal want to do it, and all the parties involved want to do it. They're still very difficult. Let's wait and see what happens. Please do check out OneXBet. Check out OneXBet. Link is in the video description. You'll get a 200% bonus. So if you on your first deposit, so if you deposit $100, be sure to get another $200. Mate, truly, as a football fan, Arsenal haven't got a high budget. You don't know that. And this is what Fabrizio has been saying. And I'm so lucky to be following, a journalist like Fabrizio. We don't know that, and you don't know that. You don't know that Arsenal don't have a high budget. How do you know that? There is, you don't have insider information. Honestly, yeah, we are football fans, and we've not been spending a lot of money in the past years, right? We've not been spending a lot of money, but you don't know that. You don't know that Liverpool somehow just transformed into a major force. Starting to sign the likes of money. Mane, Salah, and now we're saying, you know what? If Liverpool want Mbappe, everybody's like, Liverpool can sign Mbappe. 5 years ago, if Liverpool talked about Mbappe, we could say, what? Liverpool want Mbappe? Are they crazy? Get me? So you don't know that. You really don't know that, mate. Alexander Isak to Arsenal. Look, I've seen reports that Arsenal are willing to pay more than 70 million euros for the player. He has a ridiculous, buyout clause, and for me, I don't see that. I don't see that happen this summer. You might get a CM and a crap centre back, but one thing that I like about Arsenal is the scout good. Good scout. This is Orest. Is the title true? Or no, it's not clickbait. It's not clickbait. It's not a clickbait. You're right. It's not a clickbait. It's true, 100%. The player is the player's medical is set, and an official announcement will follow that very soon. Thanks for the update. Thank you so much, Felix. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Okay, let me take a little bit more of more comments. And are we signing a goalkeeper? It's obvious. It's obvious victory. It's obvious. We have to sign in a new goalkeeper, a backup goalkeeper. With Leno, I mean, there are so many rumors around Leno, but no, I don't think it is a priority at the moment. Arsenal trust in ourselves. Get on the club. Get on the lads. Get on the lads. We could do this, guys. We could go back to the level which we are. We need to be that Arsenal side, that Arsenal force that is quite strong. So get on Arsenal. Come on, wake up. wake up. We could be that Arsenal side that is admired by many. I know it may cause of Mark Goldbridge, the legend. What is this? What is this? Okay. Alright, says, I know it made because of Mark Goldbridge, the legend. And Goldbridge says Arsenal have no money. Goldbridge is not an insider. Goldbridge does not have inside information from Arsenal. It doesn't. Not even Fabrizio Romano, because Goldbridge is really coach Fabrizio Romano. So not even Fabrizio Romano will tell you whether Arsenal have money or not. Because for the fact that you have a billionaire as your owner, that could qualify us to have the money. Yeah, that could qualify to have the money. So Goldbridge is not an insider journalist of Arsenal. Goldbridge is not an insider, a journalist at the Emirates. I mean, he might be saying we do not have the money. I don't know that. I don't know why he says that. We spent 72 million pounds on Pepe. We spent 45 million pounds on Partey. We spent 60 million around 60 million pounds on Aubameyang. We spent around 50 million pounds on Lacazette. Who says we don't have the money? Who says we don't have the money? So I mean, if you want Arsenal to sign Messi, we don't have that money. If you want Arsenal to sign Mbappe, we don't have that money. I think you got wrong. You got Goldbridge wrong. That's what he means. If you want Arsenal to sign Rafa Varane, we don't have the money to compete for that. But if you tell me that Arsenal wants to sign 5 players or 10 players, each for 5 million pounds, we've got that money. We can spend around 150 million euros in a summer. We can. And we have ever done it, right? So Goldbridge, I think what it means is Arsenal can't sign the likes of Jack Grealish. That one I agree. We don't have that money. Any updates on Ben White and how do you feel about Manchester United signing Sancho? This is a real one. Ben White, it is more of the same story. Like I said, Arsenal have to wait until the Euros are over, until England gets kicked out of the Euros. So if you're praying, pray for England to get kicked out of the Euros. I'm really kidding. I'm kidding. I know many people watch my channel in English and they're saying it's coming home. It's really coming home. And I mean, ridiculously, in January when when Africa is hosting, when Africa is having the AFCON, my country with ridiculous football won't be part of the AFCON. So I can't say it's coming home. I can't say AFCON is coming home. So all I can say is, the English are really excited about football coming home. How do I feel about Manchester United signing Jadon Sancho? A massive signing. A really, really massive signing. I think with Manchester United, they're like Arsenal. They've had a very good left wing, producing quality from Marcus Rashford, and they have had a very, very awful. They've had a very, very awful right wing with the likes of Danny James. It's been a problem. I think that is a problem solved, really, and I think it's a bargain. Somehow I feel it's a bargain. It's less than they paid for Harry Maguire, right? Less than they paid for Harry Maguire. I think it's a bargain. Honestly, I think it's a bargain. I mean, I don't know. It's a bargain. But I think check out Manchester United next season with Sancho, Rashford, Cavani, Bruno, Pogba. They are gonna be massive. They are really gonna be massive. So, if you want me to say I'm scared, no, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm not really scared. I'm not really scared. How many players have Arsenal signed now? Thanks. It is two completed signings, and that is Albert Sambi Lokonga. That is a done deal, as well as Nuno Tavares, right? Yeah, as well as Nuno Tavares. Man, this Kroenke guy is stingy. Yes, Kroenke is so stingy, and I can't forget that. He's ridiculously stingy. Cossy, is Granit Xhaka leaving this summer, or it is just rumors? Look, that deal is 70% going to Roma. But if you ask me, is he leaving the club? That is around 80%. There are chances that he might stay because of because of the demands of the club, because Arsenal want at least 20 million euros. Roma, yeah. 20 million euros. And what Roma are trying to do is they're trying to say, we are giving you 15 million euros. Arsenal's like, you're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. We are not getting that. So 90% Arsenal will lose Granit Xhaka. Yeah. Loactelli rejects Arsenal. Is that breaking news? Is that breaking news? Let me try to look at my Twitter feed. Is that breaking news? Loactelli has rejected us. I'm not really. I've not seen that around yet. Okay, I'm not really seen that around. But I mean, like I said, like I've always said, where did I say? Like I was saying at the beginning of the show, Loactelli wants to join Juventus. It is his priority, right? It is his priority. Someone was asking me about Isak, and this is a confirmation from Fabrizio Romano. Alexander Isak has signed a new contract with Real Sociedad until June 2026. Borussia Dortmund's 35 million euro clause has been bought out. So I don't think we will. I don't look. I don't think we will sign Loactelli. I don't think we'll sign Loactelli. What of Bellerin, please? Bellerin, Inter Milan is interested. Yeah, Inter Milan is interested. I think as a possible replacement of Ashraf Hakimi, who has moved to PSG. But what Inter Milan are saying is they want to get the player on a loan deal with an obligation to buy. I think Arsenal will have to permit that first. Do you think Arsenal is going to announce the two deals the same day? Yeah, I think it will be on the same day. I think it will be on the same day. Trust me. I think it will be on the same day. Please, Arsenal should forget about Ben White and leave Saliba. Please leave Xhaka to play. The Xhaka saga. We will talk about Xhaka on the next live stream, because on the next live stream we're gonna really assess and rank who should replace Xhaka and who should play Arsenal's central midfield next season, right? Big up my boy Semakula Tone, and I hope you recover very, very soon and you get back to work, bro. Xhaka is a baller. Xhaka is a baller. Look, people, Xhaka is a baller. We'll speak about this on the next live show. But Xhaka is a baller in the Euros. Xhaka is a baller in the World Cup, where it's a tournament and you have a lot of time. Xhaka is the baller in German football, where you have a lot of time and a lot of space in the midfield. Xhaka is not a baller in the Premier League. You don't have time. Players are always on your ankles. That is my only problem with Granit Xhaka. He needs the time. He needs a lot of time. He's a good player. He's a talent. No one can ever say Xhaka is ridiculous. Xhaka is not a good player. Or yes, he is a good player, but the Premier League, the time he requires, for me, it's more like Paul Pogba. Very great talent, even at Manchester United. I think he's done some good, good things. He's had some good moments. But if you took him in German football, if you took him in Spain, Pogba would be world class, because you have this, you have the time on the ball, you have the space. In the Premier League, it's not there. It's not there. And look at players like that have succeeded, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne. How much time does Kevin De Bruyne take to receive and release? I mean, if you're not fast in the Premier League, you've got to be super intelligent. I don't think Xhaka is super intelligent, and I don't think is that quick. Now I can't really read this name because it is something like, is it Arabic? But it says, I think Bellerin will go to Spain. He's had talks with a couple of Spanish giants, including Villarreal, Valencia, Sevilla, but nothing has been agreed. I mean, he's still doing a tour. I mean, oh my God, I wish I was Hector Bellerin, doing a tour of clubs that are interested. And I really admire traveling a lot, and hope in the near future I get to travel a lot. Please read the name and question, please. Oh, you're right. You're right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Walter. Okay. Thank you so much, Walter. So Jesse says, what about Torreira? Torreira is a player confirmed to leave. Yeah. Torreira is a player confirmed to leave. But the problem is I think his final destination at the moment looks likely to be Roma. But there's, I think we are overvaluing our players in this market, and clubs are undervaluing our players. So we are yet to find an agreement for Guendouzi. We are yet to find an agreement for Torreira. We are yet to find an agreement for Hector Bellerin and Xhaka. But hopefully we will find an agreement soon. So Walter said, what of the deal of Housem Awa? No, look, Housem Awa wants Champions League. Does Arsenal have Champions League? No, we are out of it. We are really out of it. But what is more interesting in this deal is Awa thought he would go to Juventus. Juventus are going to sign Loactelli. So that leaves him with two options. You either go to Arsenal, that do not have any European mark, in which they're competing, or you stay at Lyon, right? So member, if you want to become a member, press the join button. And thanks everybody who's become a member. So this is Shatu. I hope I pronounced it right. Shatu says, why is Bissouma and Maddison forgotten, right? I think that's the question. Why is Bissouma and Maddison forgotten? Bissouma is not a priority. I think what Mikel Arteta wants is not what Bissouma has, honestly. I think if we are going to be honest, the skill set Arsenal need in that area is not available in Yves Bissouma. Maddison is expensive, and Arsenal are not willing to pay in excess of £70 million. That's why those deals have gone silent, because they are a little bit not priorities at the moment. Okay, right. Tell me about Pablo Mari. Pablo Mari is an Arsenal player, and next season, probably. Look, if you want me to say he's gonna be a confirmed starter, a guaranteed starter at Arsenal, I don't think. I think Mikel Arteta loves Gabriel Magalhaes more, and that's why he's trying to find a player who has who could actually complement, right? A player who could complement Gabriel Magalhaes. So I think it's gonna be Gabriel playing ahead of Pablo Mari. Pablo Mari will be just a backup to Gabriel Magalhaes, and then you have probably you could have Gabriel Magalhaes playing with Ben White, right? And then Rob Holding is the backup to Ben White. So I think Mari is decent as a player, really, really decent. I respect his professionalism, and I respect how calm he is, on that pitch. But I think he's not the priority in the pecking order, for Mikel Arteta at the moment. Cossy, what about in number 10? It is that is already confirmed. It's Fabrizio and David Onsendi have said we shall sign in number 10. But the problem, who will it be? That is the question. That's the question. Who will it be? I think it will be something like surprise. I mean, we could go out and I don't know, who could we raid? Bruno Fernandes from Manchester United, right? Just kidding. But we will sign in. We will sign in number 10. Honestly, we will sign in number 10. They are not talking about number 10. I mean, right now, when you have closed, when you have deals that are closer, when you have closed deals, right? You're not talking about much of speculation. You're focusing. If you saw my videos yesterday, we talked about only two players. It was Lokonga, Ben White, and Nuno Tavares. I think we spoke about Nuno Tavares in four videos. So whenever you have deals emerging closer, you've got less speculation around other areas. Who should be signed in that number 10 position? Buendia is gone. Ancelotti wants to keep Odegaard. Right? Yeah, that's a difficult one. Julian Brandt, probably we could try that. Borussia Dortmund, right? Look, I'd go for Julian Brandt. I'll try Julian Brandt. It would be another very good deal, honestly. Yeah, Shadow. It would be I'm gonna pick his comments because he's a member, right? So if you're a member, you get the privileges of your comments coming out loud, coming out fast, even if you're not the first person to comment. So I would go for Julian Brandt. Yeah, I would go for Julian Brandt. I've seen a couple of number 10s. Mikel Oyarzabal. I would try out Mikel Oyarzabal as well, probably. But I think honestly, I would go for Julian Brandt at the moment. I'll go for Julian Brandt. I could also try Toganaza. I don't know if Dortmund would agree to so, but I could try Toganaza as well. Yeah, I could try Toganaza as well. I think is good. Arsenal go for Messi. Man is out of contract. Cossy. Actually, I've seen the speculation today, and I think I was watching Mark because I really do like Mark Goldbridge. One day I hope this channel becomes as big and as brilliant as his. So he was saying that Messi is out of contract today, and he doesn't see a move for Messi out. I don't see Messi out of Barcelona. I think they will reach an agreement between them and the player. But I mean, if you give me Messi, best player in the world for 20 years, for the past 15 or so years, I would take him. Honestly. But the wages would be so ridiculous. Yeah. But nobody would take Messi. Nobody wouldn't take Messi, right? Nobody wouldn't take Messi. Shadu says Arsenal could sign Lionel Messi, and that's a question. With Romana said with transfers, anything could happen, right? Anything can happen with transfers, but I don't see that happen. I mean, it's a little bit, it's a little bit extreme, and I'm not one person who's a real big extremist. So please do smash a like on the video. Please do help me smash a like on the video. At least let's get them to 100 likes while we are live. It's been a very, very great show, and I really love speaking to you guys because you really give me opinions that are not even that are out of this world. What about Leicester City's Maddison? Can he come to us? No, apart from the price, the rest can happen. If Leicester City can get a compromise, can agree to compromise their price demands, the rest can happen. If Maddison is too expensive, Arsenal's gonna sign Coutinho. That's the last question I'm gonna answer, and I will say no. Thanks, everybody. It's been a very, very great show. Check out OneXBet. Link is in the video description. They're gonna double your money on your first deposit. Time was 2, and that is really, really, really brilliant. I'll speak to you very, very soon.